really cool. Looks suspicious. I love it. Looks dark and like Heathen-ish.
That's like an Assassin's Creed type.
Yeah, but it's just a hoodie itself. It's not even a...
She called it something.
I call it a... I call it a hoodie.
Yeah.
I love this
It was your Christmas present from your sister.
It's expensive, but it's so worth every penny. Got custom colors. Sarah did a great job.
Sarah's Jared's sister's best friend from elementary school, all the way through. Sarah's like
yeah, her website's called, it's on Instagram. It's called No Hooks Given.
She started her Etsy shop and stuff, so she crochets and knits. It's really cool stuff. So
No Hooks
she
Given.
custom made that for Jared for Christmas. I don't know what it's called, but it's Assassin's Creed style.
Yeah, I wanted green and black. Makes me feel special.
She called it something. I just don't remember. Anyway.
I don't know what it's called. I just know I love it. I just thought it was funny how I go through the website and my sister goes, pick something out that you want from her. I'm like, okay. I picked the most expensive thing. But it's awesome. Oh, look how good that looks.
Are you meditating? Or are you just pretending you're meditating?
I don't know. This just makes me happy doing this.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about? I know you brought some stuff. You're going to show it to your...
I wanted to show you my wood.
You brought your stuff to show to your group, though, right?
Yeah.
But then you just want to make a video.
I made this.
Very cool. Show the inside. It's like an urn or a... It's like a little... Oops. Like a little stash. A little stash bucket or something. What dropped out of it?
I don't want it to break. Got it.
Oh.
Ah, yep. Look at this, baby. Ooh, yeah. Look at this. Ooh, look at that shine. You can see all the termite holes, but it adds a little attitude to the wood because it's still pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Very
a whole
cool.
finger length. I even made a lid.
It's very cool.
And a little tiny
handle. You're so
handle.
talented. Yeah, a little finale, however what do you call those?
Made it on the lathe.
Very cool. Very talented. That was like the best Christmas present you ever got. So what's that?
I don't know. I just wanted to turn something and hollow out the center of this and make a ring. But every time I make them, they break. So I'm very careful about it. But it's fun to do this. Talk about a fidget thing. You're like, ah.
That's very cool. You got some amazing skill and talent, and
Oh,
you're
how do
very
you get the ring on there?
You're very good at making stuff. Being creative.
Oh, and then I was drawing.
So you want to show your drawing?
Here's my first drawing that I started back drawing, so I put them in order. This is my first drawing. Yes, I love anime. People are gonna ask that. See?
You used to draw. You went through a drawing period like 4 or 5 years ago.
Look at that one. Intense.
And then you haven't been drawing again, so now you're drawing again.
Yeah, look at that. Ooh. My friends like this one because it's colorful.
So you want to talk about it at all? Like, you're feeling emotional and...
Yeah, I'm just going through emotions right now. So instead of acting out on my actions, I just draw. And this is one of them.
So you kind of been holed up in your room for the last...
Week and a half.
3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so I've been drawing. This is my favorite. I drew it to mean something, but yeah, I forgot.
And then you want to talk about what happened the other day while you were drawing? You came out of your room and...
Oh, this is my friend. Yeah, no, I'm still pregnant. I finished this one today. Yeah, that looks so cute. Oh my god. It's so cool. And then this one I'm working on. Oh yeah, I gotta fill up that page. A whole blank page. That actually looks really cool. That would be a cool journal. Like if it was this way, but that was there, going upward, and then like there was a whole book on it. Like
you want to talk about what happened the other day? Was it yesterday or no? This day before yesterday when you were drawing and you came out of your room.
oh, that was weird.
What happened?
Yeah, that was weird. I was drawing. When I was drawing the noose, weird stuff started happening in my room. And I was so focused. I get really deep, intense, like almost like a meditation when I draw. And so when I was drawing this, so focused on drawing this. Yep, just making sure how. Yeah, look at that. Ooh.
Yes, we see it.
I know, but I gotta make sure y'all see it.
We all see it. We see it.
Making sure.
Look at the sunset. It's so pretty.
Anyway, when I was drawing it, my light flickered. And I was like, man, you know, this is weird, you know, my light flickering, all right? I'm like, something's in here. Okay, yeah, okay. I ignored it. Then my Bluetooth disconnected from my speaker because I listen to music when I draw.
Loudly.
Loud. Very loudly.
Yeah. What kind of music have you been listening to?
Emo music! Woo! My Chemical Romance. Blink 182. You know, just like normal emo bands. You know, like the Black Veil. Good one.
Run me over, dude. Run me over.
You know, just normal emo bands. Listen to that because it's good.
So you've been listening to loud music, emo music,
and others.
Hanging out in your room, drawing those
interesting, slightly disturbing.
Yeah, emotive drawings. And your light flickered, and your Bluetooth speaker, and then what happened?
Yeah, my Bluetooth disconnected. So I try to reconnect. My Bluetooth device is not even working anymore. I turned it off, turned it back on. I try to reset it. It's not working. I'm like, oh man, they broke it. They broke my speaker. It turns on, it works fine, it just doesn't connect to anything. It's weird. Anyway.
You gotta figure out how to reset it maybe?
Again. Anyway, my light flickered and on the corner of my left eye, I saw a big giant flash, like a camera flash, and I thought Mom was in my room taking a picture of me drawing or something, you know, something weird, you know. Normal family things. Be like, oh, look, you're drawing. Figured that's what she was doing. But I looked and my door was closed and I forgot I locked it. And I unlocked my room and I go outside and I'm like, Mom, what did I say?
You told me something weird just happened and...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm like doing 90 miles an hour and these people just want to be right up on me.
Anyway, I saw like a blue light, like a blue flash. Really bright too because it lit up the whole side of my room and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Interesting.
Really interesting because you haven't.
Because it happened like 8 more times after that night. I didn't come out because I was like, oh, okay, so if it's the first time I go ask, I'm like, oh, okay, it's whatever.
And now you're having trouble not being able to sleep.
I go to bed at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm so bored, I just draw all night. But after I draw, I'm completely wiped.
So do you think that there's a connection between the paranormal type of activity that you're experiencing and your mood and your drawing and all that, the music and all that? Do you think there's a connection or?
Probably.
What would the connection be?
that I found my way to cope with life. Yeah. I found my way to channel people's emotions.
To channel people's emotions or your own?
I don't know if they're mine.
Okay.
I haven't really felt like this for like years. Why would it just show up randomly like this?
So,
Randomly with no trigger.
So you're saying it might not actually be yours. And you might be empathic and picking up on somebody else. Somebody else in the house?
That would make sense. My friends were saying, like, I smoked weed like a few days ago, and I smoked weed, and they were saying I've been saying some weird ass shit when I'm high, like some weird stuff, and then the words get stuck in my head. The actual words get stuck in my head, and I'll be saying them the next day, but man, I don't know why, you guys, but I've been saying these words in my head, and they're like, that's because you've been saying them all night. I'll be like, I don't remember the night. Things like, I want to murder you. Or like, I want to cut you up into pieces. And I'm like, what the hell am I channeling?
I don't know, but it doesn't sound very good, does it?
I get some dark emotions though. Makes you space out and you're like, huh.
Right.
Did that actually happen?
So
Do you question reality?
Those are sort of,
a glitch.
Suicidal or homicidal entities,
I'm not a homicidal guy though. I'm a teddy bear.
Right. So you're saying it doesn't feel organic to you. It doesn't feel natural to you.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting though.
So you're channeling something. Right?
Must be positive though, because it's a blue light. It's a good soul.
Well, I don't think. I mean, if it was positive, would it have? You would have
it would
thoughts
have
about wanting to hurt people.
It would. No, I would have done it. I would have hurt myself for something. I would have done it.
You're saying if you were possessed, if you're completely possessed by something, you're saying, right? Or what? I don't know.
Unless it's grabbing my attention, and there is something trying to bug me. Now that I think about it, I mean, there's possibilities. What happens if something is lingering around, and then that thing, like the good thing, was like, oh man, hey, notice me. Before you get into your dark thought again, you're doing it. You're doing the thing, the thingy thing, the thing.
So you're saying the dark thoughts are you?
Maybe.
And maybe there's a guide there that's trying to help you get out of that?
Probably. That's weird.
Or maybe it's
happened like 8 or 9 times, like at night. It happened again last night, the night before that.
What, the bright light?
Yeah, the big bright blue light. It's like a ball of light. And it's not like a normal where it fizzes out of the wall or comes out of something like a translucent thing. It's like and it's there, and then it's gone. And then right when it does it, the light flickers with it. Oh, my computer dies a lot quicker now. Like literally, I unplugged it about 30 minutes ago, and it died when I was finishing up my drawing.
So what's your theory? What do you think that could be? Maybe it's 2 different things. Maybe the things are kind of related, but they're not the same. Right?
What was the topic?
I said, what do you think it is, the blue light? Do you think it's like angelic or some type of guide or an ancestor?
I think it's a god.
A god?
I've been listening to heathen music, Viking heathen music.
Right.
Be interesting.
Yeah. So you think it's a god.
I think it's a god.
You're not really connecting with it. You're just having paranormal experience.
It's probably because I've been listening to heathen music a lot. I stopped for a couple weeks, then I got really into it. Where there was points where I listened to heathen music and my eyes want to roll back, and I'm like a trippy, translucent, psychedelic drug that my brain was creating, and I felt like that. In a way, I had to think about the words.
So you're like in a trance, you're saying?
Like my soul was sleeping.
Your soul was sleeping? Or maybe your soul was waking up, or your soul was sleeping.
I don't know, that's what I said. say the words how they are. And that's what's said, you know. When you talk sometimes, you're not supposed to say it like that, but it just comes out how it's supposed. Like, I think it's my Asperger's. I've been having no filter lately, and my friends are like, holy shit, Jared, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, I have no filter for no reason. Like, I filtered it for the last, like, 4 years. I learned how to control the filter when I meet people and stuff. Or it's so bad right now, it's horrible. I say some messed up stuff that I don't mean, but it's like, I'm just saying. That looks cool. I never got to notice that. Anyway, I've been saying.
Wall of clouds? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the city.
Oh.
In the background.
Oh, yeah, from right here. Only that one spot.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when I listen to music, I get completely exhausted. Like, what's the word? Windgasted? Your energy can become completely drained from your body, you know, like.
Yeah, exhausted.
Yeah, but there's another word for it I want to use. Like something like they knock the wind out of you. Like, oh, I had a panic attack the other night. I don't even know it.
What do you mean you don't know it? How do you not know you have a panic attack?
Oh, I thought my chest was just hurting. I felt like a freaking heart attack. I'll tell you that. It hurt so bad. Oh my God. It happened for like 30 minutes. I didn't even know. I was texting my friends. I'm like, holy man, my chest is killing me. Like, it's like a panicky mode. It's weird. And they're like, oh, you're having a panic attack. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't like it. It hurts. It's worse than heartburn.
You know what I just learned the other day? Do you know where that came from? Panic.
No.
Think about it. Pan. Do you know who Pan is?
Peter Pan.
No, but it's kind of, Pan is a god. I think he's a demigod, maybe. Half human. Half human, half god. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about mythology, but that's where the word panic comes from, is the god Pan. So that's interesting.
That looks really cool how half my face is covered. Oh, that looks really cool.
So what else? You shared all your art and talked about what's going on with you, and do you like where you're at? Do you like when you're in that space of being emotional and drawing and...
Well, if I wasn't emotional, I won't be able to have the, I want to have the thought to draw.
True.
It's like they're helping me to draw, to encourage me to draw.
Right.
So oh, that's probably why, because when I've been like reborn or reshaped in my soul, I was telling you the first day I told you, I was like, why are you so happy this all week? And I'm like, that's because I feel like I've been reborn, like yin and yang is working together. Like when I was saying the dark, when you accept both sides, and then you get complete.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with this story. I had it in my head. Hold on. Oh. There's something negative pushing me, but there's something positive keeping me there at the same time. So I'm completely focused. I'm not doing anything. So it's equaling out when I'm drawing. So it's like yin and yang, and they're both working together when I draw. Something really, really powerfully strong that's good, and something powerfully negative, and then they collide, and it's like one.
Well, what's really interesting about that is that bipolar, which, you know, they have diagnosed you with that. Whether you are bipolar or not is, I don't know, but you have been diagnosed with bipolar.
When I was like 15.
Yeah, and you know, that's the interesting thing.
Isn't everyone bipolar when they're 15, though?
No. I think that there are true, quote-unquote, symptoms of being bipolar. And what you're going through and experiencing right now, especially even like not being able to sleep, and you know, a lot of psychiatrists would say you're in a manic phase. You know, you're in the manic phase of the bipolar cycle. And so from a shamanic point of view, what I would say is that people that experience those fluctuations of energies, they're fundamentally at their soul level are artists. That's what they're here to do, is express and create, and to ride the wave of emotion and create through and out of it. You know, in our culture, we don't really teach that or promote that. So a lot of people, you know, they can't function, and, you know, they become dysfunctional, and they just want to take medications to control and level out the mood, when actually what you're doing is, you know, what's natural to you to do when you're in that mood. You're creating. You're being creative. So those are just creative energies that are flowing through you. That's all they are, really. You know, and you're having, you're channeling them and mastering that through creating art. You know, so in that sense, what you're talking about is the balance with the yin and the yang, right? Yes. Did you hear what I said, or are you spacing out?
Yes, I heard you.
I don't think you did. But that's all right. I got it on video.
The truth lies within the video.
But so that brings up another interesting discussion that's kind of come across my screen lately. You know, talking about psychotropic medications. And you've certainly had experience with those, you know. You want to talk briefly about what that was like when you were younger and you were on so many different meds and... In the hospital? Yeah. They were
switching me off of this and this and this. I remember one time when I was in the hospital there, I was taking 18 pills at once.
Yeah, and
that sucked.
And then what happened?
People are like, oh, man, I could only take 2 horse pills, man. I could take like 18. That's my record.
And then what happened? You know, what happened?
Which one? Oh, like the reactions?
The big thing that happened because you were on your medications. Do you want to talk about that? Like the trauma that it caused? The PTSD that it caused?
Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, that's interesting. Was it Prozac? Mm-hmm. The Prozac. I think I mix it up because the Abilify boosts it, doesn't it?
Right, you were on Prozac and Abilify.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing they ever done. You have a paradoxical reaction.
Yeah.
I went downhill so quick.
And what happened? What did it do to you, like in your mind or in your...
It destroyed it. It's like it opened a whole new world of darkness.
Yeah.
And when you take a medication like that, I warn people because it's like it could have a paradoxical reaction, and you'll least expect it to, because it's like when you smoke weed, depending on the strain you're smoking, it could creep up on you or hit you real hard.
Well, it's technically not a paradoxical reaction because it's a known side effect.
It's a known side effect.
Right. So
how many people actually get that side effect?
Actually, I think a lot probably do. I think a lot more than you would think. All of those psychotropic medications potentially cause suicidality.
Personally, I think doctors give you medications like that to make you worse, so then they'll give you more medications. I never had an anxiety problem where I took anxiety meds. My seizure meds gave me anxiety, so I took anxiety meds, but the anxiety meds were actually prescribed for sleep.
So you had a really bad side effect of the Prozac and Abilify. It made you impulsively suicidal, and you had a really dramatic, horrid, traumatic...
I remember some of the seizures I had.
Suicide attempt.
Had.
And did you notice a difference after you got off the Prozac and Abilify after that whole thing happened?
I was so happy.
Yeah, so you noticed a difference. So it was the medication.
The medication was bringing me down. Oh my God. It was the worst thing ever. Oh, I remember how gloomy I was. Like, I never wanted to leave the house. I kind of lost all my friends at the time. And like, I was away from everybody at school. And then like... And then I got off of it, and I was like completely fine after I left the hospital in a couple weeks, and I was like, wow. You know?
Yeah.
Why do you look like you're gonna cry?
Oh, I don't know. Probably because the allergies are really bad right now. The mold's really high, and it affects me.
I like how that car
makes my throat scratchy and my eyes watery. Anyways. So that experience of that medication, what it did to you, and how horrendous and traumatic that was, and you got PTSD from that whole experience.
Well, that and the police.
Yeah, and you had this horrible encounter with the police in that incident, and
incident. So it's like it was
like,
oh, you're suicidal. Let's boost it up. +1 combo. Boom, boom. +2. Oh man, it's a good video game. Do, 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 do. Oh, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, 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 A, B, A, B. Bow.
Yeah.
In the hospital for a long time.
So it was pretty bad. But, and then after that, you were really like nervous about taking any medications. Like you would not.
I was scared.
Any new medication.
The doctors wanted to put me on new antidepressants. I was like, no.
No, you refused.
Nope. I still refuse.
Yeah.
I still refuse new medications. They tried to put me on new seizure medications in Houston, was it?
Yes.
I refuse that. I'm like, nope. What are the side effects? Nope.
Yeah.
Right,
because they wanted you off the Depakote because it's bad for your liver. So they wanted to put you on something else that was less harsh on your liver and titrate you off while they bring the other level up, you know. So, but you refused to do it. You didn't want to do it.
Nope.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, given the trauma, you know, that you went through, I can understand why.
I remember some of the seizures I had. Waking up screaming.
I don't know who's honking at me or why. Why are you honking at me, dude? Wow.
Anyway, I remember screaming on some of the seizures. I remember waking up, like I still have the flashes of some of the seizures I had, where I wake up screaming because of like it's like all my half my seizures are like connected to my PTSD, because I remember when I was getting like brutally beaten by the police when I was getting held down for being suicidal. And like I remember that when every time I have a seizure, when like I remember waking up with nurses holding me down, like where, and like I'm kind of like spaced out, and I remember it so clearly, like third person view.
Like you're outside of your body watching it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So you're still working through that, and that happened in 2011.
What?
That incident with the police.
Sounds so long ago.
It was 2011.
Doesn't it feel like it happened a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
My mental state's going through hell.
But do you feel like you're getting any better at all?
Yeah, I could talk to cops for about 20 minutes and then leave.
Right. Yeah.
All the cops in the neighborhood.
So you're getting better, and
I'm better, but I'm not good.
No.
There's a difference.
But you had problems even walking on the sidewalk.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was so scared to walk on the sidewalk because I was suicidal. I ran to the busiest road in our old town, and I tried to kill myself on the kind of like a freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember dodging those cars.
I generally don't like to talk about that on videos because I feel like it triggers people, but in this case I'm going to let you talk about it because it was your experience and you went through it, and I went through it too. You know, it was just as traumatic for me in a different way because I watched all of that happen.
Yeah, I know. I remember you screaming in the background. Yeah, I didn't really remember that until like I had a seizure one time, and it was so traumatic or something. It was like the one I was put in a coma, and like I remember I started remembering more things that night of the accident. I could see you screaming and Dad holding me back. Yeah, I remember that. No, it was definitely there. Nope, it's definitely.
It didn't happen like that, but I don't see how
it feels like that.
Yeah, but I don't really see how you could know because.
Third person view.
Yeah.
I was out of my body that day. Imagine the cop twist your arm behind your back.
Yes, I know.
And just goes, and it's not the bone that breaks either. It's all the muscle.
Yeah.
All the muscle.
So they tore your ligament completely.
They tore my ligament completely.
That keeps your bicep muscle on the bone.
Look at this.
So
I'm flexing.
Yeah. So you had to have it surgically repaired.
I can't even flex. There's no muscle here.
And they tased you when you were already laying down, face down, with handcuffs behind your back.
Man, that tasted. I didn't feel that taste.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a mark. I remember that clearly because I was calling police slurs,
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh, man, that makes me smile. I'm like, that taser is gonna hurt me. Tase me, little bitch. And I'm like, oh. And they hit me. I'm like, it's not working. Oh, what now?
Well, they used that as when I filed a complaint, they used that as an excuse of why it was okay for them to continue tasing you over and over again because you were telling them to. That was their excuse.
I was 17.
Yeah.
Technically, it's against the law.
And that's not.
I was a minor.
That's not a valid excuse for the police to do that. That's just stupid. Suicide by cop, man. I mean, wake up. But that's how they got out of it, by trying to say that you wanted it. You were asking for it.
I was high on medication.
Yeah, you were. You had overdosed on your Prozac.
Yeah, like half the bottle, literally. I remember that. I remember Mom picking up a brand new prescription. I had it planned from the beginning. But in a way, I didn't. Does that make sense? I planned it, but I didn't plan it.
Yeah, it was kind of impulsive.
Yeah, that's their fault for having mental hospitals for not... I was doing volunteer. I was going in on my free will, but you know how long insurance takes? I blame the insurance companies. Oh, yeah, man, we have to wait till it gets through. 6 hours later.
It wasn't 6 hours.
It felt like that. We were there at like 4 a.m.
It was not 6 hours.
How long was it then?
It was like 30 minutes, and it wasn't at 4 a.m. It was about 8:30 at night.
Oh, yeah? What's the police report say then?
I don't know. They refused to give me a copy of the police report.
Oh, refuse?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When it's my own report.
Well, the reason why is because they say there are victims named in the report other than you. And in other words...
Victims?
Well, they're calling the police officers victims. So, because of
We
that...
pay them to protect us.
Because of that, they wouldn't release the report. And so they never even would tell me the names of the police officers that were involved. The only reason I knew is because the district attorney called me, 2 years later, saying that they had same complaints, some similar complaints from the same police officer. And
same police officer,
and
same
I said, oh,
complaints.
that's interesting. I don't even know who it is or what the name is. And
how ironic.
and then they told me what the name. And then after that, I got 3 more calls from them as well.
3 more calls
Complaints.
of the police officer.
With the same officer.
Oh my God, that officer was the one that beat me.
Yeah.
The one that twisted my arm behind my back.
There's bad cops everywhere, and there's good cops everywhere.
In our town, there's some good cops, some really nice ones. Actually, they're actually fantastic. They made me judge cops differently.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
The ones in California, I judge them all 100%. They're all nasty.
So anyways, I'm glad that you talked about it and shared some of your experience, and especially the part about being on psychotropic medications and how that caused that whole thing to happen in the first place, really.
What about the Trieptal? Is that a psycho pill thingy?
Trileptal? It's an anti-seizure medication, but they do also use it for bipolar, for mood stabilization.
Yeah, they try to put that on me. That was a funny reaction.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was remembered when I first reacted to it in the mental hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They thought I was bullshitting because it's a mental hospital. They think you're making everything up. Yeah, they then think I was making it up after my body started having a reaction of like tardive dyskinesia.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Tardive dyskinesia. Imagine being paralyzed and your jaw's like, eh. And I was like, that's because they increased the dose. I was taking 250 milligrams. I remember it clearly because it's a traumatic thing from the hospital.
Right.
It's like they gave me 250 milligrams. It was working, but the doctor thinks they needed to increase it. So they gave me 500 or 750 milligrams. They increased
I really
it a
don't
lot.
know, because you were on and off that medication before you even got out of the psychiatric hospital.
They were testing it, and then they gave it to me, and then I noticed my arm curled up, and it started to hurt really bad. Like my muscles tensed up really tight.
And they were trying to say that was your psychogenic seizure.
No, my seizures are different.
No, but that's what they were trying to say that it was.
That's funny.
Because that's the same thing happened to you. See, tardive dyskinesia is also a known side effect of certain medications.
Trieptal.
Haldol as well. But
Haldol.
the problem is usually people don't get tardive dyskinesia until they've been on the drug for like 10 or 12, like a really long time.
Not me.
It's not like instantaneous in one dose that you get that.
I can.
It's
very, very rare. But I get it.
You're very, very sensitive. Physiologically, you're very sensitive. So, like, one dose of Haldol and you have, like, full tardive dyskinesia.
Oh, I remember that in the actual hospital. Not the mental hospital, the hospital. I woke up from a coma, and, like, I saw my mom, you know, everything. I felt like shit. I was crying and everything. And I remember slurring my words, and I'm like, I felt like I'm actually, like, retarded. Like, they don't use that special. They don't use that word anymore. Right. I was special ed, and my hand was, like, curling up, and I was like, I think it's the medication. And I'm like, I'm talking like I'm special like that.
I know, and they kept telling me, oh no, that's his condition, that's his psychogenic. And I kept telling them, no. And
then it got a lot worse.
Because every time I've ever seen you have a seizure, you completely lose consciousness. You're not talking through it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they were giving you the Haldol because they had you intubated.
Remember my eyes kept rolling in the back of my head?
Oh, good gosh. Yeah, sorry.
Remember my eyes were rolling in the back of my head, and like my tongue was sticking out I couldn't help it. It just, my tongue was forced. It was like this. It was it was messed up.
Neck was so
Oh yeah,
stiff,
my neck was like stuck.
and it was hurting.
And it was hurting
so bad.
Oh god.
And you were crying in the pain, and I was trying to rub it out, and they just kept telling me, "Oh no, that's just his psychogenic," and they just kept giving you more and more of the drug.
They gave me more and more, and it made it 100 times worse. It took a week to get it out of my system.
We had to take you out of that hospital against medical advice. Because
thank God, because they were making me like.
They were making you worse. They were literally killing you. Remember, you were starting to have trouble breathing.
Oh yeah.
Because your
my lungs.
diaphragm was spasming and locking up from that.
Oh god.
And then you couldn't breathe. And they kept trying to tell me that was your seizure. And I kept telling them, no, I don't think that's seizure. I've never seen you have seizures like this. So we had to take you out against medical advice because I told them they needed to call the doctor.
And the doctor didn't come.
Didn't come.
But I remember,
we had to, like, literally...
I just remembered, because you're like saying stuff like that, and I was like, I got triggered of a memory, and I remember, what medication was it? I remember, I think I was doing an MRI. I remember waking up, screaming on the top of my lungs, saying my head feels like it's getting crushed.
Yeah.
I remember waking up. Oh my god, it almost makes me want to cry because it's like so traumatic. I've never felt anything so painful.
Okay, so that was from the Ativan.
In my life. Was it Ativan?
Yes.
I woke up from Ativan, I guess, screaming like someone's murdering me. Like my head was getting crushed.
Right.
Like a severe side effect.
Because you have paradoxical reaction from Ativan, and now it seems from Versed as well. So likely most of the benzodiazepines, you have paradoxical reaction. Now, a paradoxical reaction is different than a side effect. It means you have the opposite, and that is really rare.
I still consider it a side effect in my book, temporarily. Doctors don't know shit.
No, but I mean, I really think that there's like genetic components to that stuff because, you know, like your dad had a lot of that sort of paradoxical
bullshit. That's what I call it, bullshit.
I can't like see around these cars. I don't know if I can go or not. Yikes.
That's scary.
Very. Yeah, anyway, your dad had a lot of paradoxical, you know, like he was an alcoholic, and like most alcoholics, they drink and they pass out. He wouldn't. He would become like energized and crazy manic. You know, he would drink coffee, and instead of getting like hyped up or jittery from it.
I drink a cup of soda before I go to bed.
He would get relaxed.
Makes me sleepy.
Right, see? That's what I'm saying. So I think genetically...
Yeah, half my friends were like, how does soda make you sleepy? I'm like, it's caffeine.
Yeah.
I guess it's a side effect to like ADHD. When you have ADHD, if caffeine makes you sleep, you must have like a part of ADHD.
That's what paradoxical means. It means opposite. It has the opposite effect on you. So, like, yeah, Ativan had the opposite effect on you, and it made you, makes you confused, combative, you know. disoriented.
There was another medication I wanted to talk about. What does Haldol do?
So Haldol's an antipsychotic, but the reason that they were giving that to you is because the drugs that they give you to keep that tube down your throat.
Ah, yeah, I remember that.
Okay, listen.
I remember trying to pull the catheter out.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to do surgery on that.
So that's why they have to give you the Haldol, because the side effect of the Haldol is to make you like sleepy and groggy. So they were trying to get you off.
No, it made me up.
They were
awake.
They were trying to get you off the propofol, so they could take the tube out. They can't take the tube out till you're off the propofol completely. But once they take you off, you try to pull it out yourself.
I should highly recommend for doctors.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Should keep the patient asleep when they take the catheter out.
Well, that's what the Haldol's supposed to do. It's supposed to keep you sedated enough to where they can start taking the tubes and stuff out, and you're not like trying to pull them out yourself. That's why they were giving you Haldol.
I remember being basically half dead in the hospital. Like, my blood pressure and stuff was so low that... Don't you have, like, a picture of it? It's, like, 40 over something. Like, my heartbeat's, like, 40 over... And it's beating so slow that I'm, like, basically almost dead.
Yes.
It was, like, 40 over 16 or some bullshit.
That's
number.
a lot that you went through, but I went through it right alongside you.
Yeah, I remember Maddie hugging me when I got in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because she thought I was dying.
I know.
Because I technically was dying from medication they were giving me.
Yeah.
They were killing me.
Okay, so you got to go in there, and we talked about some really heavy stuff. So are you okay? You good? Do we need to, like, brush it off? You know? You okay?
Yeah, I feel better now.
Thumbs up. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for watching. A little heavy, a little triggering, but we're good. We're reaching through this and getting through it and working on the seizures, doing awesome, doing our shamanic stuff and finding our place, and we're doing good. Yeah?
It looks creepy this way.
Yeah, it does.
I like it. You shall call me master.
All right.
Look forth into the light.
All right. Peace out, you guys. We love you. Thanks for watching.
I love you guys. Keep on watching the videos. Whee!
All right. Bye.
Bye.